Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Noah back again with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. This video is going to be a little bit of a controversial subject, topic that I'm going to talk about, but this is my opinion. I want to first start off by saying that. So, if you're opposed to it, that's fine. This is only my opinion, so it doesn't really matter to me if someone agrees or disagrees. If you agree, great. If you don't, great. But with that being said, I want to kind of talk about what's going on in the world and my view on it, and just my view of how we're getting played, and how this is kind of like a chess game, in my opinion, and how we're being controlled by certain elite groups of people, but we'll get into that. I want to first start off by saying that I do think that black people have been oppressed for a really long time, and I think that racism is still a thing. And I think that the riots and the protests it's showing that, we're putting our foot down and we're saying enough is enough. And, it is, the riots and everything I think it's just a sign, to resemble the fact that, black people have been oppressed for so long. And we're putting our foot down and we're saying no to that. It's with this shift in consciousness that's happening all over the planet, it's racism and, prejudice. There's just no room for that anymore in terms of the 5-dimensional realm. We're all light beings, and we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and that has nothing to do with the color of our skin. So I want to start out by saying that, yeah, I think that, there's no room for that in this shift in consciousness that's happening, as we're shifting from the 3rd density reality, to the 5th density. In the 5th density, it's all about unity, it's all about love, it's all about oneness, togetherness, and we can't shift into that level of consciousness without with being racist. It just doesn't align. And I want to, so with that being said, I want to say, I'm never going to understand what it's like to be a black person, and but I'm definitely here to listen to you guys, and I'm here to just be there and support for you guys. Like I said before, we're all brothers and sisters, and we all come from the same world, the earth. So I think with that being said, I want to talk about now how we're being controlled, and how this is playing a kind of a part in our level of consciousness now. Now I think that there are an elite group of forces, and let me just start off by saying, hasn't it been weird this year? Hasn't it really been a funny year? Think about it. We started off with World War III, which was everyone was so scared about World War III and stuff like that, but it's and then nothing really happened, and it's kind of just blown over to proportion, and then it just moves on to the next thing of COVID-19 or coronavirus. And then you see the news pushing all this fear into us. And so we're getting scared. and then George Floyd gets killed, and now people are protesting, so we're all coming together, which is, I think it's a good thing. But it's like, they said that we should be 6 feet away from each other, right? So that just, it doesn't really like add up, and if you haven't really been asking questions, this is like, I think this is a perfect time to, because it's like, with everything that's going on, it just like, it doesn't really add up, and so yeah, like, in my opinion, I think that there's an elite group of people out there. I'm not going to say who they are, that's a whole nother subject. And I know this is kind of controversial, and I think, and I'm going to go like really conspiracy theory here on you guys, but this is, like I said before, this is my opinion. I think there's an elite group of people who who control the media, I can't say whether, like, who that is. I don't really know, but what I do know is I think these elite group of people, they push stories out into the media, they tell these news outlets what to report about. And so they're getting spread all across TV and social media, and it's instilling fear into us. Now, when, it's a lot easier to control a certain group of people when they're all in fear, because they act on impulse. It's not like they're acting based on emotion. So it's really easy to control people who are in a state of fear. Like, think about it. If you're scared or you're afraid of something, you're gonna act like, oh shoot, like, what do I have to do? And you're gonna think like quick, so you're acting on impulse, you know what I mean? So this is a really great way to, manipulate the people. And, because here's what I think their plan is, it's problem, reaction, solution. So with the whole COVID-19 thing, the problem was, that there was an outbreak in the world, in the flu. It was like this, like, during flu season, right? That's like kind of when it started. And there was like an outbreak, right? And like the chances of you even catching coronavirus is like literally lower than like you getting the flu. But, nonetheless, I think it's a real thing. I just think it was very exaggerated to the point where it was exaggerated to the point where it instilled a lot of fear into us, and it made us scared. And, something that they don't tell you on the news is that the coronavirus was actually, spread by these Chinese people who were eating exotic animals such as snakes and bats. You know what I mean? So it's like, in my opinion, I think the world, like, everything happens for a reason. So it's like, with that being said, like, if you're gonna eat snakes and bats, there's gonna be consequences to that. But that's besides the point. Like I was saying before, for the corona thing, right? The COVID-19 thing. The problem was that there was an outbreak, right? And so people were kind of fearing. And then the reaction of the people were that they were fearful and afraid. So they had everyone, or they tried to quarantine everybody in their house, and then that caused a solution, quote unquote solution, their solution, right? It's like, this is the solution that they created. None of us had a say in what the solution was. We were just tricked into being played. Like, we were played into thinking that that's a solution because we were all scared about it. So the solution is vaccines, right? Everybody needs to get a vaccine. This will help you with the coronavirus. Yet they're not, they're saying that everyone has to get a vaccine, where it's like, when it's like there's not really a lot of people who are even getting the virus in the first place. So it's like, so yeah, that's, you see where the game is kind of being played now with the whole George Floyd situation. You know, it's a very unfortunate thing. I think, and it's really fucked up when you think about it, because, you know, these elite group of people are just, you know, I'll get into that, but condolences to his family. You know, I know that they're suffering right now, and I think that that's very hard to process, you know what I mean? And yeah, and so I think that the problem is, you know, the problem with this situation is that, you know, the fucking police officer killed a black man with no, like, remorse. There was, like, nothing, like, there was nothing that the black dude did, that George Floyd did, to instill like that, you know what I mean? And it's obvious. So that, you know what I mean, that caused a reaction out of the public, riots, you know, protests. And then that caused, you know, a solution would be martial law, you know, that they would be enforcing martial law on us. And if you're not familiar with martial law, it's pretty much where the government can literally come into your house and, you know, and it's an invasion of privacy pretty much, for our safety, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just like, there's the problem, there's a solution, or no, there's the problem, reaction, and then there's a solution, you know what I mean? So this is the way that they kind of control us, and that they manipulate us, you know, and it's fucked up that they use black people to do this, you know, because they know that they're going to get a reaction out of us because they've been oppressed for so long, you know, and that's the really fucked up part about it. Because that's the thing, it's like, you know, there's still racism on the planet, and that situation, that whole George Floyd situation, doesn't help at all. But it does spark a reaction out of us, which is what they want. You know, they want us to be afraid. They want us to be afraid, and they want us to be angry and upset, you know, because that's a way of controlling us, which is why I think of it as a chess game. And you know, it's going to sound selfish when I say this, but I think the solution is to just not pay attention to that, because I think with putting a lot of our energy into things like this, and things of that nature, I think that it is, when, you know, with us putting our energy into that, it's instilling fear and anger out of us, you know what I mean? And it's like, there's nothing really that we can do about it. We can protest, we can riot and stuff like that, but I just think it's, you know, on the grand scheme of things, you know, by us just sitting back and, you know, just not feeding into that, I think that's the ultimate solution, you know. I think we all need to come together and realize that, you know, we're being played, and that this is a whole fucking chess game. Because, you know what I mean, it's like, and a lot of you watching this video are going to be like, fuck you, you don't, you know what I mean, like, you have white privilege, you don't know where, you know what I mean, these people are, you don't understand these people. You know, fair enough, I am a straight white male, you know, I'll admit that, and I do have privilege, you know, I've never been really oppressed like that, but, you know, I can admit that, right? So it's like, you know, with me saying that, you know, I think I have a valid, you know, voice. I think I'm able to share my mind and to speak on this subject. And you know, I think it's really fucked up that they're using black people, you know, like killing black people to you know, kind of instigate this reaction out of us, you know. And I think when we truly, you know, choose to band together, then I think it'll ultimately be the solution for us. and we can finally live in a world with peace, love, and harmony, you know. But it's gonna take time, you know. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I have hope, you know. They had to switch it up on us, right? They had to switch from World War III to COVID to the George Floyd situation, you know what I mean? Because they're getting scared, man. Everyone's starting to ask questions. We're starting to wake up, and we're starting to become aware of who we are, that we're just much more than this physical body, and that we embody, you know, spiritual beings, and we embody being conscious beings, you know what I mean? So without this body, we still have a consciousness and energy, you know, and energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred, you know, and it can be created either, you know what I mean? So, but I think that's for another video. That's pretty much everything I wanted to address in this video. You know, I understand that it's a really sticky situation, and I think it's tough, but at the end of the day, you know, I understand that, you know, I think that that my voice is valid, and I think that, you know, I have a right to state my opinion and what I think about the situation. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm super grateful that I'm able to record this type of content for you guys and to just speak my truth, because I think it's important. And, you know, yeah. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you, and if you have any questions, comments, or anything that you want to say, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Even if you want to say hi, I reply to every single comment, so let your voice be heard. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Take it easy. Have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night, wherever you're at, and peace, love, and happiness.